y'all? It's me, Erica. What's going on? We are down here. The sun is in my face. Let me turn into this place, honey. And we can talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It came on yesterday. I was like, am I going to review this? Do I feel like reviewing this? I was watching it like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know how we going to end up with Love and Hip Hop because I don't know what's going on. I really don't feel like talking about it. It's the same shit. It's just the same shit. Everybody's acting the same way. The shit is crazy. Anyways, I guess we could talk about it and laugh because this it's a soap opera. You know, it's a Negro novella for me. You know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't know what episode this is. They start off talking to Erica about Safaree. Baby, the previews for next week. Did y'all see the previews for next week? The previews for next week, before we even get into the episode, the previews from next week, Erica is having a conversation with Safaree. And the little baby, I don't even know what the little baby's name is. Sapphire or something like that. Is it Sapphire? It's really close to his name. And the other baby is named Legend, which I think is a dope ass name. I do think that's a dope ass name, Legend. Erica is talking to Safaree, and I guess they're in the studio, and then the little baby is like, you know, touching stuff. And a guitar falls on the baby. And Safaree is sitting there like, he doesn't even get up. And Erica goes, pick up the baby, you freaking idiot. And then he starts moving into action. I was like, yikes. Y'all, what would y'all do? I mean, I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the episode. Erica says she wants to believe that Safaree is her soulmate. I want everybody start today, and start deprogramming yourself from believing that soulmates are romantic relationships. They are not romantic relationships, okay? It actually doesn't have anything to do with romance at all. It doesn't have anything to do with intimate partners. It doesn't have to do with any of that. It doesn't. And I want everyone to take a second today and ask Google, are soulmates always romantic relationships? Just Google that, okay? And unlearn what you have been sold in the media to believe what a soulmate is. A soulmate is it's not a romantic connection that you have with someone. It is actually when your souls meet and recognize each other and want to say, hey, we're in bodies, like, what's up? Like, it's not the opposite sex. It can sometimes be the same sex. It can be your child. It can be your parent. So those are soulmates. And I want you guys to stop romanticizing that, because then you force situations where you believe that your soul met on this earthly plane with a similar soul that you recognize, and now you're just like, oh my God, right? It's not always romantic. I'm sure that people can share their stories in the comments about how when they realize that their soulmate is not always a romantic connection. Please de-romanticize the idea that you have programmed as what you believe a soulmate is. Please just do that, okay? Because you will save yourself from a lot of needless suffering if you do that, okay? Just take my advice today. If you don't take nothing else today, just take a few seconds, go on Google and ask Google, are soulmates always romantic relationships? And just read a little bit and just educate yourself so you can release yourself from that, okay? All right. They have a cast dinner, Yandy's birthday party, basically. It was Yandy's birthday party. The men are standing around talking. Everybody's there, really. Everybody. Spice is there. I like Spice. I see Spice has a YouTube channel, and she cooks sometimes. It was like at the beginning of the pandemic, so I don't know if she does it still. But I saw a couple videos of her with her children, and she was making like her traditional Jamaican food, and it was cute. It was actually really cute, and how she relates to her children. I like Spice. She really just has a really good overall energy for me. Like, I feel like she always just wants to be cool with everybody. I feel like that. I feel like she doesn't want any problems with anybody. I like Spice. So the men are standing around having a conversation, and someone asks Scrappy how's home, and Scrappy, has a look of it's not great. It's not that great. He says that he feels that Bambi is hindering him from his career. And I just wrote right here, what career? And then I went to look up to see how old Scrappy is. Little Scrappy is 37 years old. And I'm not sure what career he's talking about, so maybe we'll find out. They're asking if he says he brings Bambi, I was about to call her Erica. He brings Bambi breakfast in bed. And Bambi lets us know, like, yes, while he has brought her breakfast in bed before, it's not as consistent as he would like for everybody to believe. It's not, he's exaggerating, right? He was like, yeah, I do all that. I do all that. The breakfast in bed. Tell him, shorty. Girl. She's like, it's not as consistent. She's just letting him, do perform whatever performance he's doing right now. Bambi was just looking like, okay, girl, I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let the people think that you do that. She was like, he don't. Karlie Redd shows up with Lamar Odom, and it's so funny because everybody knows how tall Lamar Odom is, right? And in comparison to like Kirk is a tall dude, right? Kirk, I'll give Kirk about 6'1". I'll give him about 6'1". And they're tall, right? But then you see Lamar come in the spot, and it's just like, it literally, this is the reason why when Rodney goes off on Curtis and Jackie, because like, you're tall, you're above average height for a man, so your ass is going to stand out. Tristan Thompson, y'all out in public cheating on people, you stand out. You are above average height, and so when you walk into the room, you're the only person whose waist is at everybody's head. You know what I'm saying? So you stand out. So it was funny for me when Lamar came in there, and he's just walking in, but he's so tall. And then you could see him standing next to Kirk, and they looking like, God damn, this nigga is really tall. Like, basketball players are taller than the average person. So when they walk into a room full of average height people, it's like, God damn. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I thought it was funny. It was just funny looking at how Lamar was taller than everybody. It was just funny to me. Anyways, so Karlie Redd and Lamar walk in. Karlie Redd, now I think Karlie Redd is about the same age as Vivica Fox. So however old Vivica Fox is, that's the crew that what's her name is in. How old is Vivica Fox? That's how I feel like Karlie Redd is in that age range. I keep pressing B. I'm like, why is it Vivica Fox? Vivica Anjanetta Fox is 56 years old. Dang, Vivica Fox is 56. Dang. Karlie Redd ain't 56. I'm gonna give Karlie Redd about 51. I'll give Karlie Redd about 51. Karlie Redd she's not young. Lamar Odom, and I'm not saying anything, you know what I'm saying? It's not. Lamar Odom is 41. Karlie Redd, we can never get a real age for her, because she does look very young. She looks she looks young, not very young, but she looks younger. 47 is what they have on here. Okay, that's what they have on here. on the Wikipedia. Karlie Redd. Karlie Redd is pretty, but I don't know. She got a lot of work done to her face. She used to be pretty, I should say. So she brings Lamar. She says that she's not having sex with him. They're going slow. He said because, you know, she had a horrifying divorce with the PPP fraud dude, Mo. He was out there getting, because he had a trucking business, right? Because wasn't Alexis Sky, didn't Alexis Sky know him? God, this is crazy. Anyway, so she said she had a horrifying divorce with Mo, so she's taking it very slow with Lamar. You know that Lamar and Karlie have already broken it off. I think he compared Karlie Redd to shit and compared Khloe Kardashian to sugar. I do have a problem with a woman of that age picking a man with that much baggage. And then, like, even when they had their conversation, she goes, "Are you healed?" And he goes, "I would be lying if I said I was." And it's just like, why don't you... You're entering into a relationship with somebody who needs healing. It's probably not going to go well. It's probably not going to go well. Let the person go heal. Like, y'all, when y'all done relationships, go heal. I think it's the best thing to do. It's like, grieve the relationship and heal from it. And then if your desire is to go, you know, try to find another person to be in a relationship with, then wait till you are okay and within yourself that you can go out. The fact that, to me, the fact that Lamar is, you know, trying to find somebody to attach to, it looked really odd for him to be there. It just looked like, you don't even, I don't know why, I felt like he just didn't belong there. I don't know why. And I'm like, I don't know if Karlie Redd is just helping him out. Like, we'll just say we're dating. You can get you a little check from, you know, VH1, whatever. Because he looked tired. When they were eating, they went out. I don't know if Karlie, the feed that I was watching, like, cut off. I don't know if Karlie Redd opened a restaurant. But in that scene with them, he looked tired. He looked like he just wanted to eat. It looked like a person, like Karlie Redd looked like she was bringing somebody back to life. You know what I mean? And that's not your role. Like, let him go and lay in his coffin for a little while and then come back to life himself. That's not your role to bring somebody else back to life. It isn't. And that's what Lamar was looking like. It was looking weird. So she says her and Lamar are not having sex or whatever. So we already know that they've already broken up, right? Right. The season is over. He got his money. But I don't think, like, the way that he came out at Karlie Redd, because she says you shouldn't be with anybody that has, like, a lot of baggage and a lot of problems. And she's right. And I think she's too old and Karlie Redd is too old and has had too much experience to not have recognized that his Yelp reviews are a bunch of 1 stars, right? And they're public 1 stars from verified users, verified reviewers. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are you serious? And then plus you have your own Yelp reviews, right? And you have your own experiences to go on. So you have your own experiences to go on. You have this person's Yelp reviews, and you still enter into a relationship. I don't understand where the disconnect is. Like, why would you do that to yourself? What are you trying to prove to yourself? What are you trying to prove to yourself? Because it's not going to turn out well. The person needs healing. Let them go heal. And it'll be a better relationship, right? Let them go heal. Just go on, get some therapy. The other day, Carlos from 85 South, he tweeted, hugging a big woman is free therapy. No, nigga, go pay somebody for therapy. Stop looking to women to be your therapist and then leaving them with a bunch of emotional baggage. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Go pay somebody and get paid for therapy so that you can be for real. Like, come on. You know, it's a birthday party. Mandingo, he stands up in front of everybody. He gives this, you know, I love my wife, you know, everything that you do, you're a beautiful person, and this and that. Let's go outside. He gifts Yandy a Rolls Royce. What does Montana do? What does he do? What does he do to buy her a Rolls Royce? I don't get it. What? This is where y'all lose me, because this is where it gets fake. What does he do? I need to know what he does in order to buy Yandy. Nigga, you are still on parole. You had to get permission to leave New York. What have you done in that time? Like, y'all help me out. What does he do? Because how did he buy her a Rolls Royce? And she's acting all shocked. Girl, we don't believe none of y'all. We don't believe nothing that's going on with you, Yandy. Yandy, you need more people. Scrappy and Safaree perform somewhere, and Scrappy says, it feels really good to get back on stage. And, you're 37 years old. What do you mean it feels good to get back on stage? I guess from the pandemic. But what are you on stage doing exactly? Bambi, what? Bambi, you with a 37-year-old man who wants to still be a rapper. Why you ain't... And I wrote right here, Waka Flocka. Why haven't you delved into that, energy? Waka Flocka is like a businessman, okay? Joaquin, he is a businessman over there. What are you doing, Scrappy? Little Scrappy. What are you doing? You 37 years old, on stage performing with Safaree. I just wrote Waka Flocka. You can't even give me that energy. You're really Scrappy is really like a child. And it sucks to so many women marry children. It's so sad because it goes to this idea that they're coddled and coddled and coddled and coddled and coddled, and there's no consequence. And then you just end up marrying this person that you have to be a mother to. And it's like, ugh, gosh, that's so exhausting. And then you're having babies. Now they got 3 babies together, and he's trying to still be a rapper. What else are you doing? When I watch Waka and Tammy and the shit that Waka says that he has going on, and businesses, temp agencies and shit like that, and trucking businesses and stuff like that, he's really this. You can't be a rapper. You are 37 years old and you haven't had a career like Jay-Z. So you know what I'm saying? So there's people who have longevity and have not stopped, and every time they come out, they selling out and people want to see them. I don't think that's the same thing that's going on with Scrappy. So I feel kind of bad. You 37 years old. I could see being on stage, performing and being happy, but what else do you do? She's hindering my career. What is Bambi doing to hinder your career because you want to go out? Oh, because part of your job as a rapper is going out to these clubs all throughout Atlanta and stuff. When was the last time Scrappy's been on tour? Before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I want to know when Scrappy was on tour to where Bambi could possibly be hindering your career. Girl, what? Not hindering. Safaree says that he being around them the other night at Yandy's party was good for him and Erica. We need to be around more people and blah, blah, blah. Scrappy asked Safaree, when are you going to have some more babies? I need for y'all to catch up to me, this and that. So Safaree's like, no, I'm about to have a vasectomy. And Scrappy goes, man, you can't do that. You know how black men are about vasectomies. They act like you are literally going to chop their penis off. Literally. And I don't understand. I don't get that. Because I feel like if you want to be responsible about the size of your family, you will take precautions in doing so, in planning a family the way that you want to plan it. And if you are literally done having children, take the measures to do that. The procedure is easier for a man than it is for a woman, but oftentimes, unfortunately, the woman does the fallopian tube tie, tubal ligation, and the man, very rare does the man in a marriage get a vasectomy. They exist, but it's very rare because they have that battle that they feel like you're gonna chop the penis off. They feel like that's gonna happen. I don't know why. He was like, man, you can't do that. You can't do that. Why you gonna do that? He was like, I don't want any more kids popping out. I'm good, right? Little does he know, Erica is 29 weeks pregnant. She about to have a baby. About to have a baby in 3 months. And we'll get to that. Oh, young Baby Tate, I'm not going to talk about that. That's like young, like what she's experiencing is what you have to, I mean, you don't have to experience, but if you want to partner with, men that have been socialized a certain way, this is going to be your experience, young lady. So that's what's going to happen. So you got to make choices. You got to draw boundaries on what you're going to put up with, because they all have been socialized to do the lovey-dovey stuff in private, but in public act a certain way. There's a performance that has to happen in public, and sometimes that makes you look stupid. So if you don't want to be on the other end of that, then you will say, I'm not going to deal with that. You're not going to be able to treat me one way in private and treat me another way in public. See you later, alligator. And that's all. That's it. So that's if you plan on partnering with men in this society, you're going to have some weird experiences, unfortunately. And that's just what it is. Yandy and Mantis talk about Infinity and how they haven't been speaking to Infinity, which is her foster daughter. She's been her foster daughter for 4 years. She's off in college, and she came for Thanksgiving. She didn't come for Christmas. They took a Christmas picture, and she feels left out. And then Mandingo's caption was basically saying that these are the people that he wanted around him. And so she read more into the caption. Being a foster child, I do think that you should take her feelings into consideration about being left out. Now, she says, yeah, I understand that, you're going to take pictures, but it was really his caption that really kind of made her feel a certain way. So they haven't been talking to her. And he said, honestly, I wasn't thinking about her. And see, that's unfortunate, right? I wasn't thinking about her. Why weren't you thinking about the foster child's feelings, right? You should take that into consideration. I don't think he should have even said that out of his mouth, that he wasn't. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about her. Like, that's not nice. It's not even nice to say. So I don't want everybody to think that when Mandices came home that I kicked her out. Well, everybody thinks that. I mean, maybe not everybody, but I do. I think that. And then she says, I don't know how she let that happen. How she allowed everybody to believe that I kicked her out when Mandices came home. Oh, he doesn't want her to come to the house. He doesn't want her to come to the house because he doesn't want to walk on eggshells with her. In the next scene, Erica wants to let Safaree know that she's pregnant. So she figures the best way to tell him is to kind of surprise him with it. But what she's going to do is throw him a party and bring Jamaica to the house. And they brought Spice to perform. And I put, as long as the world is around you, you're good. As long as the world is revolving around people like Safaree, they're good. When the world no longer revolves around them, meaning that there's another person, i.e. a child, when there's another person there and the world is not revolving around you, now you want to create problems. I don't think that that's somebody that is like, I just don't think it's suitable for partnership. I think if you're that self-absorbed and that self-centered that you need attention on you all the time, I don't think that that's somebody that should be in partnership with somebody, because you become a selfish person. And if you're going to be selfish, you should be by yourself. Or at least be honest about who you are, so the person can say, yeah, I would like to actually partner with a selfish, self-absorbed, self-centered, a teaching-seeking person. That's who I want to partner with. I mean, it happens. It happens. What are you going to do? They sit down. He's excited. There's a big picture of him. They got Jamaican flags all over the place. Spice performs. This is what I'm talking about, he says. When I walk up to the house, I'm greeted by women in shorts and bikini tops, and that's what I like. This is what I like. And people say that life isn't a video. It can be. I just, girl, yikes. And so she sits down and they sit down, they're eating. She's like, I have to tell you something. She tells him that she shows him the ultrasound. And he was like, this supposed to be you? Like, is this you? First, let me ask the first important question. Is this you? Yes. How many weeks are you, right? He looks like he wants to vomit. He looks sick to his stomach. He looks like he is completely annoyed. Like, what are you doing? She says she's about 23 weeks. He says, I thought we had a conversation about having more kids. And she was like, are you mad? It was weird how she was like looking at him. She was like, say something. Say something. Are you mad? Like, girl, I'm sorry, Erica. I'm sorry. He gets up. He's mad. He gets up. You just said you was going to have a vasectomy. I think that's hilarious. He gets up and walks away. Did she start crying? I don't know. It says just when we were getting in the groove of things with the baby, you know, her coming on a year old, now you're going to do this again. And basically we have to start all over. He says, that's how you can tell that we are so disconnected, or how distant we are from each other, is that he didn't even realize that she was pregnant. When you look at Erica, like when they were doing the party, the shots of her, you could see her stomach. There's no way that you could think that this is normal baby body. Like after postpartum body, she looked clearly pregnant to me, right? It did look like she was holding in her stomach a lot of the times, because sometimes it was out, and then sometimes it looked like her stomach was not flat, but like sucked in. He gets up, he walks away, he gets on the little ATV and rides out. I thought to myself, if he falls on that goddamn ATV, I'm a holler. He gets up, he walks out, and she's left standing there. We already know what the outcome of that was. He was not present at the delivery, and he went to Jamaica right after. Was he present at the delivery? Let me not lie on Safaree. But he wasn't there. All we know, he was doing a damn butterfly in Jamaica. Okay? He was out there. He was out there. You already know what it is, so... He didn't like it. So she says, I am married with my second baby on the way to a person who has no respect and no regard for me, and I didn't ask for it. You and a lot of other people have been in this situation, right? Where you have not one, but two. Two babies by someone who you probably should not have had children with, right? And it's unfortunate. It happens. But, you know, sometimes they come and they look like somebody else when they are presented. Sometimes you move too fast. Sometimes you do not know the person at all. You haven't got to know the person. And now they're showing themselves to you. And you're like, what the F did I do? Right? It happens. But what happens after it happens, and after you recognize the situation that you're in, then you have to make decisions. And you have to make decisions that where you put yourself first. You have to make decisions for yourself, especially if you're with somebody who has no respect and no regard for you. It's not the time to be like, well, I wonder how they would feel. No. You have to focus on how you would feel and how you need to, what your next steps are going to be. Safaree, we already knew who Safaree was, right? He has verified Yelp reviews, and to enter into a relationship and not really know, and then not have one but two children, it happens. And all you can do is make a decision. So what you gonna do, Erica? So they said she filed for divorce. That's the best thing that you could do for yourself and for your children. Then do that. because Safaree is really not the best person to be partnered with. And unfortunately, when your divorce is final, he will go to the next person and be in relationship with another woman, despite his public display of disregard and disrespect to the women that he's with. He will be able to partner again. Infinity and Yandy have their conversation. Basically, what it seemed like to me, Infinity got in a relationship with the older man who Yandy feels was manipulating her into believing that her family, Yandy and them, were actually against her and not really for her. And I guess Yandy told her to cut off relationships with this very much older man, and she did not, and he ended up causing conflict in the house, and they told her that we can't trust you, we can't have you around. So that's part of what happened. And she's upset, and she was like, well, I know I did what I did, but that doesn't mean that you can completely just, release me and abandon me. And she's like, yeah, I can, because you brought somebody into our family who made you believe these things about our family. You continue to go, even though I told you not to continue the relationship. Well, she could be in a relationship with whoever she wants to be with. I think she's 19 years old. Unfortunately, it's a man who is not who is manipulating her. He's older than her. He got in her head, and it created conflict within the family. And Infinity got mad, and she was like, I don't even know why I'm here. You know what? I could understand. It's more than just the picture, right, that Mandingo was talking about. It's more than the Christmas picture. It's now you're bringing some man into our family who is shifty and manipulating you, right? So there's layers to what's going on with Yandy and this little girl. And she gets up. She was like, I don't even know why I'm here, or whatever. And she gets up and she walks away. She's over it. So that's how it ended, y'all. So what do you guys think of the episode? The thing with Yandy and the daughter, even the way that Yandy was talking, she was like, and this person, she wouldn't even say the person's name. So evidently it's something like deep. I don't know, because I don't know why she couldn't say his name, the person's name. The way that she was talking was like, and this person came and got into her head. It was a very much older person who got into her head and was manipulating her. And, unfortunately, this happens. And I think the best thing to do is to just talk about situations so that these young ladies can know and be able to recognize and be able to identify when something is happening to them or when somebody is trying to get in their head. I really think the natural way of a lot of older men who try to partner with very young college co-eds, I think the goal and the objective is to be able to manipulate the person. That's the only thing that I think that an older man would want a college kid. What do you want to? Why are you dating college girls? What's wrong with you? It's really sad, but I think more people just need to have conversations and talk about it so that these younger girls can be able to identify and then how to approach it, because everybody knows that when you tell a young person no, or you don't do that, they're going to be curious to see, well, why are they telling me not to do that, right? So a lot of the times it doesn't even matter what you say. You can tell them about your experiences. I can tell you about all my experiences, and you may not understand it until you have to actually have the experience to learn the lesson. I can be like, well, this is a lesson that I've learned, right? But sometimes you'd be like, well, that sounds crazy, right? You don't have to listen to the lessons that other people have learned. And sometimes you just have to go through it yourself. And that's how I feel. Like that little young Baby Tate, Same thing. You're just gonna have to know what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with, because they've all learned how to relate to girls, to women the same way, and you just gotta let them know what you will deal with, and that's it. And then they can go and find another person who doesn't know the signs and are not able to identify that, and then be in relationship with them and see how that works out. And it's just a cycle. It's just like meeting people, being in a relationship with them, finding out that you don't, whatever, we're not meshing. Like the thing with Erica and Safaree, even though she had enough evidence to say, like, I shouldn't even go into relationship, but herself, she's doing this for clout. She's doing it to be on TV. She's doing it to be, they're both attention seekers, attention seeking, attention whores, right? And how did you think that relationship was going to go? When you're in a relationship, you're two selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed people. What do you think a relationship is going to look like? Like, logically think about it, right? Oh, I love him. Okay, well, great. But logically, when you think about it, how does that look? And do you want to play a role in that situation or not? All right, anyways, take care of each other and protect your energy. Peace.